Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. What's going on, y'all? Good to see y'all this morning. We are live. We're live. Happy Tuesday. When you got three kids, it's kind of like the worst lottery every night. Um, of who's going to be up. And last night we struck the lottery in a bad way. All three kids were up last night, so I'm a little tired this morning. But excited for this episode. Coming at you week 6 weeks of walking through the job search, or walking through how to use AI in your job search. I have to say the feedback I've gotten in the DMs have been pretty tremendous on this series. I've talked about it before. I'm probably going to continue this series after it's done. Colin, good morning, my friend. It's good to see you this morning, buddy. Good to see you. I'm probably going to continue this series and probably going to get into just how to use AI in general. Because I don't know, just so many people. Again, the feedback's been wonderful. So thank you for everybody who's DM'd me. Let me know, how valuable this series is. Again, I mean, that's my whole goal, right? Is to do these live streams and to bring you value. So for those of you who are in the Raleigh area, I will be in Raleigh tomorrow. I have my flight at 10 a.m. tomorrow, flying out to go speak at All Things Open. That's another event that's going to be crazy. I've had people DM me traveling up from Charlotte. Charlotte to Raleigh is like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just to attend the meetup. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I am doing a little State of the Union like I always do to kick things off tomorrow in Raleigh at All Things Open. And then I'll be moderating a panel with two recruiters and an architect at AWS on the state of the market. It's going to be great. Also, we are literally, it's going to be like a mini job fair. People are going to come with jobs. We're going to have a big whiteboard. People are going to sign up. Sorry for the late night lottery. Yeah, it was like the worst type of lottery when like all three kids get up. But yeah, so tomorrow, if you're in the Raleigh area or you want to get to the Raleigh area, my biggest advice though is get there early. I think doors open. Let me see. Doors open at 6. I would try to be there like at 5:30 if I were you. We have 460 people RSVP'd, and the venue can fit 212 and some change. So if you do want to come to the event, get there early. It's going to be a great time. And then also next week, the Torque team, the Ronside Digital Torque team, is going to be heading down to Sebastian Seabass. What's up, big dog? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. David, it's good to see you too. It's great to see you too, man. It's good to see everybody. So the Torque team is headed down to Render ATL. We are giving away tickets to Render ATL. So here, I'm going to drop the link here, torque.dev / what is it? Community. Here it is. So if you want to come hang with us, we're giving away tickets. I'm going to throw it up here. Go hit this landing page, sign up, and to get a ticket, you have to register to get a profile. I think it's a pretty simple ask. It's a few $100 reward. All you have to do is create your profile. So go ahead and do that. We also are hosting a meetup. Shirts will be there. Swag will be there. Me and Roxy will be there. That's Tuesday from 3 to 5, a little taco situation. It's going to be great. So hope to see y'all there. Also too, if you did not see the announcement, I'm actually hosting as well. My 4th year. The team at Render thinks my jokes are funny enough. So I'll be back hosting. So super pumped about that. Also, I realized I have a mic now. Have y'all been able to hear me? Here, hold on. Let me switch. The mic wasn't set. All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me better now. So yeah. So again, to recap, all things open tomorrow in Raleigh. Be there early. Be there at 5:30. I know a lot of our ambassador team is going to be out there. Render ATL next week. Hit this landing page. Sign up. Get the code. Sign up for our Luma event. We're also sponsoring the Headshot booth. I think it's a tremendous amount of value. Go get a ticket from us, get a headshot from us. I think it's going to be great. Yeah, David, here's the deal. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think from a social media content perspective, I probably should channel it just like on one platform. But at the end of the day, I want to meet people where they're at. No wonder why you sounded muffled. Yeah, I totally forgot. I installed this thing yesterday, and I got to get back in the routine of using it. All right, cool. So for those of you tuning in, again, welcome. If you are, oh, this audio is so much better now. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So again, if you are tuning in late, Guidance Counselor 2.0, it's a podcast I've been doing, live series for 6 years now, just trying to help people in their job search. Roxy, good morning. And ultimately, I've had a lot of conversations lately about jobs with job seekers. And to be honest with you, a lot of the conversations, I've been talking the whole time. With job seekers, I have conversations and I'm like, man, like a lot of this can be used with just AI. And listen, I love talking to job seekers. Don't get me wrong. But I think people highly underestimate the voice chat feature. So today is going to be, I'm going to work off the script a little bit. Roxy, actually, I just did that. So, again, right here. Yeah. So, but Brandon, it's good to see you. But yeah, so today we're gonna go over voice stuff. So here's what I'm gonna do. I actually wrote my resume. So, my project within Claude has the context for this. But what I want to do is I want to share my screen, and let's go ahead and get into it today. So I want to share my screen, and kind of walk through this. Hopefully you can hear it. So let's dive into it. Again, I don't rehearse any of this stuff, so let's just see if it works. You guys let me know if it works, and we'll go from there. All right, so here's the Claude series. I uploaded my resume for context. Again, the reason why I would do projects, I would have a job search project specifically. Actually, if you're using AI specifically for your job search, I would have like a resume project, a LinkedIn project, a kind of about me project where you can brain dump stuff. It depends how siloed you want to get in the projects. But I would absolutely leverage projects. So let's try this here. Let me know if you guys can hear this interview. Hold on. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's going good. So I want you to review my resume and let me know if you have any questions for me, just on anything I need to expound on. Can y'all hear this? Let's start with the tool stack. All right, can you guys hear it now? Can you guys hear it? Not hearing Claude talk back. All right, hold on real quick. Let me change the mic settings here. Let me go to book. All right, let's try this. All right, I'm back. Can we talk about my tech stack right now? Can we talk about my tech stack?
Yeah, definitely. This is the piece we flagged for the resume, right? The skills section was sitting empty with no name tools. So what are you actually working with day to day?
So right now I'm working with Brevo for email marketing, Salesforce for reporting, obviously all the major social media channels. I'm using Heap Analytics and of course Slack. I don't think we need to put that in there. Let me know what else I need to add or you need to ask me for. Oh, we use Discord as well.
Nice. That's a solid start. So we've got Brevo for email, Salesforce for reporting, Heap for analytics, and Discord for community. And agreed, Slack's a bit like listing Microsoft Word. A few gaps I'd want to fill for a community role, though. First, how are you managing and scheduling all that social content? You've got a whole stack connected, things like Buffer, Agorapulse, that kind of thing. And second, any community platform beyond Discord, like a Bevy or a Circle for events, what are you using there?
We use Luma for events, and we use Buffer for social media scheduling.
Perfect. That rounds it out nicely. So the full picture is Brevo, Salesforce, Heap, Discord for community, Luma for events, and Buff for scheduling. A couple more worth naming for a VP role if they apply. Any project management tool your team runs on, something like Superlist or Asana?
Yeah, we've used we're using Superlist now. We did use ClickUp.
Great. So Superlist now, ClickUp previously why? For the resume, I'd list the current stack and maybe note ClickUp as prior experience since it shows range. So pulling it all together, your tools line reads something like Brevo, Salesforce, Heap Analytics, Discord, Luma, Buffer, and Superlist. That's a genuinely strong, modern community stack. Want me to go ahead and add this into the resume draft in Drive?
Yes, please.
On it, let me pull up the resume draft. And get this added in. Let me find the resume draft first.
All right, so we're gonna stop there. Yes, this is just a standard voice, by the way. This is I like the voice personally. I know ChatGPT, you can pick your voice models. I don't know if you can do that in Claude, but yeah. So one of the things that I've been so that's just obviously a little test real quick. And I'm gonna switch back. I'm gonna switch back to my mic now so you can hear me a little bit better. So that's the first thing I would do. Upload your resume into the context and ask it, hey, what else am I missing? What else am I missing? Right. And again, that's the first thing. Here's another thing that I want to do as well that I've been having a lot of conversations about with people. And again, I love talking to people, but I think a lot of the conversations I have, you could really just talk to Claude. So I'm going to run through kind of a quick conversation that I've had recently. And so to show you guys how awesome this is. So I'm going to switch back my mic. All right, here we go. Hey, I need your help on stuff.
Hey, Taylor. Yeah, of course. I'm all ears. What's on your mind?
So I'm having a hard time, like, what I want to do next. Like, do you think I should get into kind of a head of community? Is there something else I should be looking at? Should I be looking at VP of marketing roles? Like, I'm just kind of torn because I feel like I'm doing more than just community. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts based off the resume that I've uploaded in the contact section.
Ooh, the big question. Honestly, based on what you've built, I don't think you're just community anymore. 0 to 400K email sends, 1.6 million impressions, driving 80% of Latam placements. That's demand gen and growth, not just community management. So here's my gut. Head of community undersells you. But VP of marketing might overshoot into stuff you don't want, like paid and product marketing. Quick question though, what actually energizes you day to day? The building or the funnel?
I mean, the reality of the situation is the funnel I've been a part of my entire career. Obviously, being in recruiting and leading a division, I've been responsible for sales and revenue coming in. Not to mention, obviously, where I'm currently at working with product, making the product really available to our community. So the reality of the situation is, I can really cover the full scope.
Right, so you're not actually torn on capability. You can clearly do the full scope. The real question is positioning. And here's the thing, full scope is a hard thing to sell because hiring managers hire for the gap they feel most acutely. So my honest take, lead with the widest title the company will structurally support. At a talent marketplace, community-led growth head is your layup. But if you're talking to a company where community reports into marketing, you go for VP of marketing and use community as your differentiator. Does that framing feel right to you?
Yeah, it does. I appreciate it. All right. So again, one of the conversations I have all the time with people is they're like, I don't know what to do next, right? I don't know what else is out there, right? So let me go through another voice prompt based off some recent conversations that I've had to kind of guide you guys through this a little bit more. And let me know if you have any questions or anything I should ask as well. So I'm going to ask something else. Hey, so can you find and pull up 10 VP of marketing type of roles and cross-reference what I have on my resume and let me know where I'm lacking?
Quick check first, Taylor. You've been zeroing in on head of and VP of community roles. Did you mean marketing this time, or should I keep it to community? And just so you know, pulling 10 roles and doing a full gap analysis is really a text interface job. It gets structured fast, and I can't lay that out cleanly by voice. Want me to tee it up over there instead?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and tee it up, and then I can look at it from there.
Perfect. Let me get the pieces together. Right, I've got a batch of roles pulled and I'll line them up against your resume in the tech thread so you can actually see the gap analysis side by side. Two quick things worth flagging now though. Your resume still has that empty skills section with no named tools and no prior role history before talk, which reads like a 2-year gap. Those are the big ones any marketing or community role will ding you on. Want me to prioritize filling those first?
Just pull those job descriptions for me first.
Got it, on it. Okay, honest read, the live search is coming back a bit thin on full descriptions right now. I've got a strong one from M Labs, developer infrastructure startup, head of community, remote, ranging 110 to 170,000. Plus leads from Cyprus and a couple others. Rather than read job descriptions aloud, which gets clunky fast, let me drop the full pull descriptions into the text thread where you can actually scan them. That's already teed up. Sound good?
Yep. Can you link to that chat so I can find it easily?
Here's the thing, Taylor. I can't actually generate a clickable link to the text thread. It's the same conversation you're in right now. Just tap over to the chat view when we hang up, and everything I've teed up will be right there waiting for you. Anything else while we're on?
All right. So that's where we're at right now, right? So again, I think when it comes to this stuff, you can ask it a bunch of questions and it kind of guides you. Yeah, mind the gap, very British. Yeah. So let's see here. Okay, so it didn't pull it. So I'm going to be like, can you drop the descriptions in here? So, and what I would do without like kind of going too long here is I would probably just chat with it on more about where I'm lacking, yada, yada. So this isn't part of the script that I have. I'm going to get into the script now. I just want to show you kind of how you can use AI as kind of a way to just brain dump, right? Another thing what I would do, and I'm not going to do it here, is I would literally just for your job search project, I would open up. Actually, how about let's do it here just real quick. So I'm going to go back here. So what I want to do is it can get it to interview you based on your career, which is kind of what we're about to dive into about how to get Claude to interview you for your job search. But watch this because I think this will help because a lot of people have problems writing their resume and don't know where to get started. And you could literally use AI voice to walk you through this easier. So I'm going to go through this real fast. Here we go. Hey, so I need help rewriting my resume. I don't like the resume I have right now. Can you just ask me some questions just based off my current role at Torque if I was trying to get into a VP of marketing role?
Interesting pivot, Taylor. VP of marketing rather than community. That's a meaningful shift. Let me start here. At Torque, how much of your work actually touches broader marketing like demand gen, brand, or product marketing versus pure community building?
I mean, obviously, brand, it's totally brand. Demand gen, at the end of the day, we are activating candidates in our platform to then be placed into opportunities. So while it's not sales leads, it's technically candidate leads, I guess you could say. And then I work alongside with our head of product in doing some suggestions on how to make the platform more obviously accessible to our community. I'm also diving into UTM tracking, obviously, Heap Analytics, Google Analytics. Let me know if I'm missing anything else.
Yeah, that's a solid spread, actually. Brand, a demand gen story through candidate activation, product influence, and analytics tooling. That reframes your community work in marketing language nicely. Two things I want to pin down. First, on the demand gen side, can you put numbers to that candidate funnel? Like how many candidates you're activating and what conversion into placements looks like? And second, do you own or influence the marketing budget? And roughly how big is it?
Yeah. So again, right, just an example here, it can kind of walk you through and interview you through this, right? So again, it's very, very powerful. I've started to use voice a lot more as a way to brain dump. I think the biggest problem with people writing resumes is they don't know where to start. They don't know how to get going. So just use it to interview you, almost like a podcast. I've even used Claude to interview me for content for social media before. So that's been very impactful. So all right, so I'm gonna dive into actually like the prompts of this week for you guys. Again, if you're not in the Torque Discord, torque.dev/Discord, it's in the job search content channel. Check it out. So the interviewer setup. So I'm gonna walk through this prompt I have on my document, and then we're gonna go through it pretty quickly. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 prompts we're going to get through here pretty quickly. Okay. So the first prompt is the interviewer setup. So here we go. Hey, so I want to do a mock interview. You are the hiring manager at another talent startup hiring head of community growth role. And I want you to interview me for it. Obviously, you know my job description, or you obviously know my background. Just pull a job description online. My background, obviously the resumes and the context. Can you ask me interview questions one at a time? Start with an opener, then mix behavioral, situational, and role-specific questions. After each answer I give, you tell me what landed well, what was weak or unclear, how I could have answered better, and just do one question for each because I'm on a time crunch.
Right, let's do it. Give me a sec to pull a realistic job description so I've got the role in front of me. Okay, I've got a solid picture of the role. So here's the setup. I'm the hiring manager at a talent marketplace startup, Series B, connecting technologists with opportunities. We're hiring a head of community growth. To own community is a real acquisition and engagement engine. Reporting to the CEO. I'll ask one question at a time, and after each answer, I'll tell you what landed, what was weak, and how to tighten it. Sound good? Let's start easy. Walk me through your background and what drew you to this role.
Yeah, so my background is, obviously 15 years in the talent space. Worked my way up through a recruiter to a manager to starting my own division, led sales and recruiting, and grew a division to 2 million in revenue the first year. Then hopped over to lead community and help with marketing efforts at a Series A startup for a year, and then recently. I've been a part of the world's largest staffing company and heading up their community efforts, engaging and retaining talent within their platform.
Good, that's a strong arc. Let me give you the honest read. What landed? The progression is compelling. Recruiter to manager to founding your own division to 2 million in revenue, then pivoting into community. That shows range and business chops, which a CEO loves because you understand revenue, not just engagement. What was weak? You trailed off at the end. The most relevant part, your current community work, got the vaguest treatment. Engaging and retaining talent is fuzzy when you've got killer numbers. And you never actually answered the second half. What drew you to this role? How to tighten it? Land the plane on your current role with one hard proof point, like growing organic impressions from 0 to 1.6 million with 0 paid spend, then close with one sentence on why this role. Something like, I'm drawn to this because you're building a technologist community from the ground up. And 0 to 1 is exactly where I do my best work. Ready for the next one?
Yeah, that's great. Give me the next one.
Right, behavioral one. Tell me about a time you grew a community metric significantly. What was the situation? What did you actually do? And what was the result?
Yeah, so when I took over at Ronside Digital powered by Torque, we had like 100 Discord members and almost no monthly messages. And now we're inching close to 5,000 members in our Discord with around 16,000 messages sent a month.
Solid numbers. Here's the read. What landed? The before and after is crisp. 100 members and nearly 5,000 and near 0 messages to 16,000 a month. That's real engagement growth, not just vanity follower counts, which is exactly what a growth role cares about. What was weak? You gave me the situation and the result, but skipped the entire middle. The what did you do is the whole point of a behavioral question. Right now, I don't know if that growth was luck or strategy, and I can't hire the strategy if you don't show it. How to tighten it? Drop in 2 or 3 specific moves. Did you launch events, seed conversations, build a creator program, introduce rituals? Something like I did 3 things. Weekly programming to give people a reason to show up, recruited part-time creators to seed conversations, and tied Discord to our in-person events. That turns a nice start into a repeatable playbook. Next one.
Yep.
Okay, situational. You join us and the CEO says community should drive measurable pipeline within 6 months. But right now we have almost no community presence. What's your first 90 days look like?
First 90 days probably is sitting within whatever tool they use, Discord or Slack, listening, taking notes, engaging, figuring out where the biggest gaps are, reporting back to product to fix those gaps, probably work with marketing to have some sort of attribution to show conversion, when it comes to people converting to either paid customers or activating on the platform.
Good instincts here. The red. What landed? Starting with listening before acting is mature, and you naturally reached for attribution, which is exactly right when the CEO says measurable pipeline. You're thinking about conversion, not just vibes. That's the growth mindset the role needs. What was weak? It stayed a bit passive and hedgy. Lots of probably and some sort of. For a head of role, a CEO wants to hear conviction and a phased plan, not a maybe. And you didn't connect it back to the 6-month pipeline goal they set. How to tighten it? Frame it in 3 phases. Days 1 to 30, listen and audit and set your baseline metrics. Days 30 to 60, launch quick wins and stand up attribution with marketing. Days 60 to 90, double down on what's converting and report early pipeline signal to the CEO. Naming the phases and ending on, here's the number I'd expect to show you by day 90, projects the confidence they're buying. Want another?
Nope, that's good. Thank you so much. So again, right? I mean, obviously I answered the questions pretty brief and Claude grilled me for it. I think that's great, right? I think, again, using AI to get the reps in your job search is just massive, right? I think a lot of people think they can just step into an interview and crush it. I think only a few people are able to do that. And so using AI, practicing 5, 7, 10 minutes a day, I think could be absolutely monumental. Let's move into the last few prompts here because we're almost at time. So that was the interview setup. So one's a STAR method practice, right? So let's go into this STAR method practice. All right, here we go. Okay, so I need help really working on my STAR method practice. Can you ask me a behavioral question based off my background? Help me structure my answer using the STAR method. Ask me about the situation first, then the task, then the action, then the result, one at a time. After I give you all 4, can you give me a polished version of my answer so I can use it as a reference?
Oh, love this. Okay, let's get into it. Here's your question. Tell me about a time you built something from 0 to 1 in community and had to prove its value to skeptics. Let's start with the situation. Set the scene for me. Where were you? What was the context? And what was the challenge you were staring down?
So I'm going to reference kind of my Discord again. I mean, one of the things I've been focused on is growing kind of our active, engaged community within the Discord. We started at zero, almost 0 messages in a month, a few hundred members, and then we scaled that to around 16,000 messages a month and close to 5,000 members at this point.
Ooh, that's a proper 0 to 1 story. Almost no messages to 16,000 a month and nearly 5,000 members. Solid scene setting. Now the task. In that situation, what was specifically your responsibility? What were you actually on the hook to deliver? And what did success need to look like?
So I was on the hook when I started running weekly programming. So we launched a few live series within the Discord, a resume review, a laid off lounge, which is helping people in their job search, and bringing in seasoned veterans in IT to be able to ask questions. We also do a weekly networking hour on Fridays. And then also we launched our ambassador program that those folks are very actively engaged in our Discord.
Brilliant. So you own the whole programming engine, weekly live series, the laid off lounge, networking hours, plus the ambassador program. That's a lot of moving parts you were accountable for. Now the action, zoom in a bit. Of all that, what were the key moves you personally made to get it off the ground? Especially the tricky bits, like how you got those first people showing up and actually talking.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of the situation is I've spent, 10 or at that point, 13 years in the industry. So the reality of it is being hired, I was able to bring my community into the Discord, and then ultimately went out and hired a community manager. At the time, his name was Jason Torres, and he helped execute and drum up chatter within the Discord as well.
Nice. So 2 big levers. You brought your own 13 years of network and relationships into the Discord to seed it. Then you hired a community manager, Jason Torres, to help execute and actually spark the day-to-day chatter. That combination of credibility plus dedicated firepower makes sense. And finally, the result. You gave me the headline numbers earlier, but tie it together. What was the impact? And is there anything beyond the metrics? Business outcomes, recognition, anything that proves the skeptics were wrong?
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is, we've driven that activity down to the platform level and have been growing our active user base, even most recently 300% plus since January of this year. And I would say that starts from the Discord.
That's the kicker right there. That community energy driving 300% plus active user growth on the platform since January. That connects your Discord work straight to the business, which is exactly what silences skeptics. Okay, let me pull it all together into a polished reference version for you. Situation. When I joined, our Discord was essentially dormant. A few hundred members and almost 0 messages in a given month. We had no real engaged community to speak of. And I was brought in to change that. Task. My job was to build genuine active engagement from the ground up and prove that a thriving community could actually move the business, not just look good on a slide. Action. I leaned on 2 things. First, 13 years in the industry meant I could bring my own network directly into the Discord to seed it with real people. Then I hired a dedicated community manager to help execute and spark daily conversation.
Okay, I stopped it. You can obviously. So again, just a great resource. I love what Sebastian said here. I think it's not only good for resume app. No, I think it's great for public reason. I mean, literally, like, I may do my All Things Open talk today through. I have a project created for my All Things Open presentation, and I may just give it and just ask it to roast me and see if I'm missing anything. So again, I think it's great. So there's 2 more things I'm not going to get to just because I think the prompt's the most important. Based off this job description, upload the job description you're looking at. Give me 10 most likely interview questions for this role, including 3 that most candidates won't prepare for. For each one, tell me what the interviewer is trying to learn about me. I love that. And then the last prompt is questions to ask the interviewer. I'm interviewing for this role at this company. The interviewer is wrapping up and they ask you, do you have any questions? Give me 8 smart questions I could think of, ones that show I've done my homework, demonstrate strategic thinking, and help me actually evaluate if this is the right place for me. Rank them by impact. So those are the prompts. And that is today's episode. So hopefully you have gotten something out of this. Again, to recap, open. I empower you. I encourage you. Open up the voice chat today and experiment with it. It is addicting. Once you start, you're going to keep yapping. You're going to become a yapper. But I think this can apply if you're a developer or your career. Big thing on the career transitioner, right? I think a lot of people have problems knowing where they want to get into. If you're a career transitioner, I would open up Voice App and I would literally dump all of your notes. Like I would just talk to it for an hour. Here's about me. Here's what I've done. So it has that context. If you're a career transitioner, then say, hey, help me kind of navigate this. Where should I go next? If you're kind of mid-level looking to get senior, ask it, hey, I'm looking to jump into a senior level role. What do I need to put on my resume? Where do I need to close the gaps? Because the reality is you may have a lot, because I will tell you this, talking to even just the abbreviated thing that we just did, talking to AI around VP of marketing, again, preface, I'm not looking, I'm just doing this for this exercise. Like there's a lot of stuff I do that a VP of marketing does. And so, you know, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't talk to AI, right? So again, super impactful. So, all right, again, all things open tomorrow. Get there at 5:30 if I were you. It's gonna be a great time. There's gonna be jobs. When it comes to Render next week, make sure you check out the landing page. I dropped at the beginning of the episode. We'll see you at Render. Free tickets, headshots. We're sponsoring the headshot booth. Come hang out with us. And then ultimately share this episode if you got value out of it. Otherwise, y'all have a great one. And I will see some of y'all in Raleigh tomorrow. Peace.